HOA called cops on my lake camp, now they're evicted for trespassing. The sun hung high over Willow Lake, its golden rays glinting off the water like a promise of peace. My family had camped here every summer for a decade. Our tent nestled under the pines, the air thick with the scent of cedar and freedom. This year, though, the tranquility shattered faster than a dropped glass. It started with Karen. Not just any Karen, the Karen, president of the Willow Lake Homeowners Association. A woman who wielded her clipboard like a scepter and her voice like a guillotine. I'd barely cast my first fishing line when her shadow loomed over our campsite. "You're trespassing," she snapped, her sunglasses reflecting my stunned face. "This land belongs to the HOA now. Pack up, or I'm calling the cops." Her tone dripped with smug authority, the kind that thrives on control. My wife, Sarah, stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "Karen, we've camped here for years. The lake's public access. Check the records." Karen's lips curled into a sneer. "Records? I am the records." The argument escalated fast. Karen's accusations littering, noise, disrupting the community aesthetic, piled up like kindling. My teenage son, Ethan, muttered under his breath, "She's just mad her mansion doesn't own the view." Karen heard him. Her eyes narrowed, and she whipped out her phone. "That's it. I'm done with you people." Within 20 minutes, 2 police officers arrived, their boots crunching on the gravel path. Officer Daniels, a grizzled man with a no-nonsense stare, listened as Karen ranted about squatters and vagrants. I explained our history here, showing him our fishing permits and photos from past summers. Sarah pulled up the county's public access map on her phone, her hands trembling with suppressed rage. The second officer, a younger woman named Ortiz, scanned the documents, her brow furrowing. "Ma'am," she said to Karen, "this land's still public. The HOA doesn't own it." Karen's face reddened. "That's impossible. We annexed it last month." Her voice cracked, betraying her confidence. Daniel sighed, rubbing his temples. "We'll need to verify this. Stay put." The air grew thick with tension, the lake's gentle lapping the only sound as we waited. Ethan fidgeted, whispering, "She's lying, right?" I nodded, but doubt gnawed at me. What if the HOA had pulled some legal stunt? That's when Old Man Jenkins appeared, hobbling down the path with his cane. Jenkins, a reclusive fisherman who'd lived by the lake since before the HOA existed, was a legend around here. His weathered face told stories of storms and survival. "What's all this noise?" he growled, eyeing Karen. "You stirring up trouble again?" Karen scoffed. "This doesn't concern you, Jenkins." But he ignored her, turning to the officers. "I've got something you need to see." From his satchel, he pulled a yellow deed, dated 1972, granting public access to Willow Lake in perpetuity. "My granddaddy signed this with the county. No HOA can override it." The twist hit like a thunderclap. Karen's jaw dropped, her clipboard trembling in her hands. Officer Ortiz cross-checked the deed on her tablet, her expression hardening. "This checks out," she said. "Ms. Thompson, your HOA's claim is invalid. You've been misrepresenting ownership." Daniels turned to Karen, his voice low. "You called us out here on false pretenses. That's a problem." Karen stammered, her authority crumbling. "This is outrageous. I'm protecting our community." But the officers weren't buying it. Ortiz's radio crackled with a new report. The HOA had been illegally fencing off public land, citing beautification. Karen's crusade wasn't just about our campsite, was part of a larger scheme to privatize the lake. The confrontation peaked as Jenkins stepped closer, his voice gravelly but piercing. "You think you can bully folks out of what's theirs? This lake belongs to everyone, not your fancy gated club." The officers exchanged glances. Then Daniel spoke. "Ms. Thompson, you and the HOA board are facing charges for trespassing and fraud. You'll need to come with us." Karen's defiance collapsed. She stood frozen as Ortiz cuffed her, her sunglasses slipping to reveal wide, panicked eyes. The HOA's empire, built on intimidation and lies, unraveled in minutes. As they led her away, she shot me a venomous look. "This isn't over," she hissed. But it was. The lake was ours again, ours, Jenkins, and every family who'd ever cast a line here. That night, we sat by the fire, the stars bright above Willow Lake. Ethan strummed his guitar, and Sarah leaned against me, her warmth grounding me. Jenkins joined us, sharing stories of his granddaddy's fight to keep the lake public. "Folks like Karen," he said, "they forget what community means. It ain't about walls, it's about sharing." But the victory was bittersweet. The next morning, we learned the HOA's illegal fencing had displaced a dozen families who'd camped here for generations. Some had lost heirlooms, others memories, all because of Karen's greed. Worse, the legal battle would drag on, draining the community's spirit. Jenkins, our unexpected hero, vowed to testify, but his health was frail. I wondered if he'd see justice served. As we packed our tent, I looked at the lake, its surface calm but hiding currents of conflict. Karen's eviction was a win, but at what cost? The community was fractured. Some sided with her, believing her lies about protecting property values. Others, like Jenkins, fought for what was right, but the scars of division remained. We left Willow Lake with heavy hearts, the taste of triumph soured by the human toll. Karen's downfall exposed not just her arrogance but the fragility of trust in a community torn by power and pride. What do you think? Can justice heal a divided community, or does it deepen the wounds? Share your thoughts.